Teach Mom How. Today I'm going to teach you how to control and organize your desktop on Mac OS Sonoma. That's the newest version of Mac as of January 2024. It's called Mac OS Sonoma or Mac OS 14, Mac Operating System 14. So you'll see here, I've got my desktop with these different widgets. You can have no widgets, you can have some widgets. You'll see I have all the different apps that I'm currently using over here to the side. So today I'm going to show you how to organize this. I'm going to show you 3 different features in this operating system. Widgets, which are these right here. I'm going to show you, what do they call it? Stage. What do they call it? I'm so sorry. I forgot the name of it. 1 second. It's called Stage Manager. Stage Manager, which is where I see the different apps here that I'm currently using, and I can flip between apps. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you the widgets. And by the way, these widgets are also on your phone. So one cool thing now, they've always had widgets that would show you the weather, time, different things like that. Different apps on your phone have widgets. And now with this new version of the Mac operating system, you can put the widgets from your phone on your screen. That's what you're seeing on my screen right now. So let's go ahead. Oh, and the third thing I'm going to show you in this video is how to create shortcuts. This widget right here, these are shortcuts to things that you do frequently. I don't use shortcuts a lot. I mainly use it just to go to websites that I use all the time, kind of like a bookmark right for my desktop. I'm going to show you how to set this all up today. All right, let's go ahead and get started. First off, let's get started with Stagecoach, okay? Stage Manager. So if I click on this notification icon right here, this right here, I don't know what they call this, but if I click on this, you'll see Stage Manager. I can turn that off. Okay, if I turn that off, everything I have open is just all cluttered on my screen. Okay, everything I have open is just all, it's all here. It's all just cluttered. Okay. If I turn on Stage Manager, everything I have open moves over here like it's on stage left. It's to the side. So if I click on the desktop, it's going to clear the stage, and all I have on my stage is my widgets and my desktop. Okay, if I had no widgets, you'd see nothing here, if that's what you choose to do. All right, and then I can go to my Outlook, I can go to my clock, I can go to my Finder window, I can go to anything I've got open, it will show right over here. Okay, anything I've got open, and it will remember how you arranged it. So if I've sized it like this, that's how it'll pop up when I come back to it. See, look. All right. So what I usually do is I usually have the apps open to a size I can work in them, and then I leave enough space that I can see what else is on stage, and I can flip back and forth. I love this new feature except for one thing. There's one thing I don't love about this feature, and it's that when I'm used to being in Finder. Let's say I'm sending an email, for example. Let me go send an email for you. This is the one thing I don't like about this. So let's say I'm sending an email and I want to attach an image or a file. My way of doing this is I usually have my Finder window open to the side, and I just click and drag it to that email. I can't do this when I'm in Stage Manager. Let me show you what I mean. So if I was not in Stage Manager, I could have my email open and I could have Finder open to the side, and I could just click and drag it and it would add it. You can do this in text messaging. You can do this in a number of things. Well, with Stage Manager, you can't do that unless somebody knows a trick. I don't know. If you do, please share. Okay, so I have my Stage Manager here, all my apps that are open. That's the only time I don't like Stage Manager. So either you got to work around that or turn off Stage Manager when you need to drag and drop files. Okay, so that's Stage Manager. That's how I chose to set mine up. play around with that one last time. It's up here under this icon, top right of your screen. Push this and you turn Stage Manager off or on. All right, for the most part, I like it. All right, now the widgets. You'll notice that the widgets, when you're not on your desktop, they blur. So if I'm working in an app, say I'm working in Finder, okay, you'll notice that they're kind of, they're dimmed, so they don't stand out as much. Then when I go to my desktop, just by clicking on the desktop, they pop up nice and bright. Okay, so these are widgets. Most of these are attached to apps I have on my phone. Here's a productivity habit tracker I have on my phone, reminding me what I need to do. The weather, some scripture study I like to see, some tasks I have to do, my calendar for the day, photos, whatever you want to put here. So here's how you edit this. You click on the message center, which is this thing right here. This is the message center, okay? And you'll see any recent messages you've gotten. You click Edit Widgets, and this will pop up all the different apps you have that have widgets, all right? Shows you some suggestions. Now you can have your widgets two places. You can have them right here in the message center, okay? For example, and those will just pop up when the message center is open. So when I click on messages, they pop up. So if I don't want my widgets on my desktop like I have here, this is where I would put whatever widgets I want. And whenever I choose to see those widgets, I would click the message center, top right. It's the date and time. Okay. Click Edit Widgets. Now you can decide what widgets you want and where you want them on your screen. If you want them, you can just scroll through and see everything you have. There's different size widgets. You can click and drag them to your screen. Okay. Or you can scroll through and check them out. Or you can click on the app and determine if you want the widget from that app to be on your screen. All right. Play around with them. Some of them are useful, some are not. Like I used to have the Audible one on my screen, but I didn't really see the point because whenever I was thinking I could like play my Audible stuff from it, like the podcast one, when I turn on the podcast one, I can push play to whatever podcast I've been listening
Tango
to.
down. Chun-Li from Street Fighter versus Melina from...
Nice podcast. So I can do that. So I like that widget. The widget for Audible makes me open my phone, which is not what I was looking for. Anyways. So play around with these widgets and decide which ones you want on your screen and which ones you don't, and how busy you want your screen to be. All right. So that's widgets. Have fun with that. I think it's a sweet new feature that you can put them on the screen. I kind of like it. And again, you can have them on the screen or you can have them in this message center right here. You choose. I'm going to get rid of them in the message center because I've got the ones I want on my screen already. All right. Now, the last widget on here I have is called Shortcuts. That's this right here. This is cool. This is something relatively new that Mac's come out with in the last year or two. Not sure exactly when they came out with it. I use it mainly for shortcuts to websites I use a lot, but it can do a whole lot more. In the future, I'll probably learn how to use it better and show you some cool stuff it can do because I don't really know at this point. But if you go to your Launchpad, you're looking for an app called Shortcuts. If you can't find it, just type it in. There it is, Shortcuts. All right, this is where you manage this app. Where'd it go? Okay, Shortcuts right here. This is where you manage it, okay? And then I just chose a widget. When you saw me go to the message center and I was editing my widgets, I just found the one for the app called Shortcuts. So you actually have the option to have a really big one. This one right here fills up like twice as much space, and you can have more shortcuts on it, or you can have a small one that just has 1 or 2 shortcuts or 4. I chose 8, and I actually just thought about it. I told you that I didn't like that Audible widget because it didn't open Audible on my computer. I could actually create that in a shortcut. I could create a shortcut that would open the Audible app right on my computer if I wanted to. So All right, so here's how you use shortcuts. All right, in the shortcut apps, you'll see all the shortcuts that you've made. If you've already made one, you can right-click it and duplicate it and then just edit it. I'm going to show you how to make the shortcuts that I've created that take you to websites that I use frequently. So if I click this, it takes me to a website I use daily for business. These are two I use daily for business. If I click on that, it's going to take me right there. All right, so it's like a bookmark right for my desktop. And that's how I'm currently using it, but it can do a lot more than just that. So here's how you create a shortcut to a website from your desktop with shortcuts. Starting from scratch, click plus right here, new shortcut. Then you're going to tell it to go to web right here as your category web, and you're going to click on open URL and drag it to here. Okay, you can have it do multiple tasks sequentially, and again, I haven't played with how you would use that or why you would want to use that, but you can. So open the URL, then I put the URL that I want here. So best way to do this to make sure it opens right is to actually go to the website. Like when I made the one for YouTube, I went here and I selected the entire URL, and make sure you copy it. You can do this by doing Command-C if you're on a Mac, which you are if you're doing this, because this is a Mac thing. So I hold Command on my keyboard and push C. That will copy it, come back to my desktop, back to my shortcuts, and in the open URL spot, I'm going to paste Command-V my URL. You can type it, but I like to copy and paste to make sure I don't mess it up. All right, then I can test it by pushing this play button. And it worked. It opened it. My screen time is just blocking it. Okay, so that's how you create a shortcut to a website that you use frequently, right from the shortcut apps in your desktop. And now, and you can rename it right here. Okay, rename it what you want. And then close that, and you'll see that you've got it right here. Now let's say you want to change the look of it. See how I chose these icons? They're all suns because they have to do with my solar business. So the play button because it's with my YouTube business, and this is Facebook. That's the best thing I could come up with for Facebook. So you right click on it if you want to change these, and you can rename them here. You can edit them, or you can just change the icon. This is where you could change the color of it. Or if you want to use a icon, you could choose a different icon and whatever color you choose to have. All right. Now, if I go back to my desktop, my widget I chose only has room for 8, so you'll notice it bumped Facebook off the screen. If I wanted to see more shortcuts, I'd come back into the Edit Widgets. Again, I got they're here. Edit Widgets. I'd go find the one for shortcuts. And I'd choose this bigger one. Look how big that is. Okay. Now on that one, you'll see that I got all 9 shortcuts on there, and I have room for 7 more if I want to. All right. That's too much for me, so I'm going to take that back off and go back to how I was. So there you go. That is how I made my screen look the way I did using Mac OS Sonoma or operating system 14. It's the newest version of Mac as of January 11th, 2024. Okay, hope that was helpful. I showed you 3 different features, 3 different applications here. I showed you Stagecoach, or Stage Manager. Why do I keep calling it Stagecoach? I showed you Stage Manager. I showed you widget management, and I showed you how to make shortcuts with the Shortcuts app to the websites that you use frequently. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please find it in the kindness of your heart to like this page, click the bell button so you get notifications, and support Teach Mom How. Okay? Everybody have a great day.